In today's video, we're going to go through this collection of comic books. These all come from Larry Lieberman, the Chief Marketing Officer at Virgin Comics. Virgin Comics, I believe, made comics in the mid-2000s, from like 2007 to 2008. And this would technically be all the file copies he had, because these are all the comics he had kept for reference. He kept, one or two of most issues, and a couple issues he has stacks of like 5 or 6. Lots of really cool comics. And the cool thing is that Virgin Comics was Gotham Comics in India, so there's a lot of Indian variants. There's autographed books. There's rare Comic-Con editions. There's first appearance of Spider-Man in India. Rare 9/11 comics translated. And just a lot of really interesting, cool stuff that I'm really excited to go through. All this collection, I'm keeping at least one of each item. All the duplicates I will end up selling, I believe. So if you see anything that you're interested in, that I have more than one, message me and we can work out a deal. All right, let's start going through all these comics. Okay, let's start by going through this box. First stack of books are from India. So I believe Virgin Comics joined up with Gotham Comics, which had been distributing and creating comics for the Indian market for several years. In 2007. So we have this Scooby-Doo. I have these all bagged and boarded. I want to actually pull this one out. I think this was like a promo, this really cool little Scooby-Doo. I think this is a promo inside ice cream or something. Not 100% sure where it came from. But yeah, that's really neat. I love stuff like that because that's just not something that I could easily find in the US. So again, an opportunity to buy something like that. It's really cool. Okay, we have John Woo's Seven Brothers. This was this might actually be a U.S. comic because it's Virgin Comics, or it might be a Canadian, just a promo for issue 1 of Seven Brothers. Yeah, so that's the EB game, so that would have been the Canadian one, and then this one is a GameStop one, so that one would have been the U.S. So I think those are just smaller little preview comics. Superman Returns prequel, Lois Lane. So this is the Singapore edition. That's number 4. So that's like, I guess, for the movie. This is cool. It's a nice thick issue. We have Batman Beyond, the giant super special. Actually, after this stack, I will show you the first issues that they printed. Batman Gotham Adventure number 6. So Larry was telling me that a lot of these are printed in several languages for India. So these are the English version, but there's also a few other languages. And there's just so many people in India that they could print them in different languages, and each language would have a huge audience to buy the books. Marvel Comics presents number 13. A fun Wolverine cover. So I think all these are just reprints of US comics. Okay, this is Superman number 1. So this one is the Bengali edition. So it's all in Bengali. So that's really cool. Okay, I gotta get actually the pack of books that he said were the first batch that they sold. Okay, so this stack right here are the very first books that he said they put out. They had released them in regular US size, and what happened was the price, I'm not sure if I see the price on the cover, but what he was saying was the price was translated to the US market about 50 cents, so they thought it would have been like a really good price. And the Indian market it was too expensive for them. So they the first month, they kind of sold poorly. So what they did was they shrinkflationed it, made it that size. Here, I'm going to take it out of the bag. And then they shrunk it down to that size, sold it for half the price, and that's when they started really selling. So it was more of like the manga size is what sold really well in the Indian markets, whereas the larger US size did not sell that well. So this is really cool. This is Superman number 1. This is, I'm not sure what language it is. It doesn't say. But this is it the same? No, that's 2 different languages, I think. Very similar, but different languages. So 2 versions of Superman number 1. Superman Adventures number 1. I think that's really cool. I do kind of like them in the American size just because it's what I'm more familiar with. A Batman or a Detective number 1. That's really neat. Batman Adventures number 1. Or Batman and Robin Adventures. And then this one, to me, is probably one of the neatest ones because it's a Mad magazine with the Spice Girls. Really fun. The US version looks exactly like this, except that corner is different. It doesn't have the little Gotham logo. But you guys know I'm a huge Sergio Aragonis fan. So he should be in here, I think. Oh, where's the Sergio? There should be like a little Sergio comic in it, because every issue at this time would have had a Sergio comic in it. There we go. 2 pages of funny little cartoons by Sergio. This is super awesome. So this goes in my Sergio Aragonés collection as a rare international variant. Okay, those ones are really, really neat. All right, next handful of international books. Now, the international part of this collection is the part that I was most excited to pick up. The Virgin comics are super cool too, but they're more common. I see them in dollar bins. They're not that exciting, other than they are file copies. This stuff I just don't see that often. So it's really fun to get like a huge selection of the books that they put out. Justice League Avengers #1, or at least all the #1s. Uncanny X-Men #4. I think that one's still in English. Another one of these Superman Return prequel books, Singapore edition #2. Amazing Spider-Man #1 in English. That's fun. That's a J. Scott Campbell cover. Tarzan #3. So it looks like they were also reprinting some Dark Horse stuff. Batman #2. That one's in, that's a Bengali edition. Okay, Virgin Comics. This is back to, I think this is just a promotional comic from Virgin Comics. And then John Woo's Seven Brothers. So this is another preview promotional comic from Virgin. A couple of these. We have the Tin Man preview. This issue I think has a little bit of value. Maybe $5 to $10. All right, we have a, I think that's a Justice League issue. Another preview of John Woo's Seven Brothers. K-Zone, Little Kids Magazine. I think this is Australian. That's neat. I love stuff from all around the world. It's kind of fun to get this international stuff. K-Zone #1. Justice League of America #1. This is a Singapore edition. Superman #1. Scooby-Doo #19. I think there's only this issue in this collection. I need to go try to find it. Honestly, I want to find a lot more of these Indian books now. It's kind of fun that I have so many, but I want to fill in the runs. Okay, next handful. We have another one of these Uncanny X-Men. This is #4. Hulk #1. Or no, issue 4, but it's reprint of cover #1 from the US version. Another one of these J. Scott Campbell's. This one's the Singapore edition. I forget if the other one was or not. All right. This is from Larry's son, actually. This is Bravest Warrior #1, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. But this one is signed by the writer and author of the book. I thought that was really, really, really neat. So that one's definitely going in my collection. I love, the Bravest Warrior is created by Pendleton Ward, the guy who created Adventure Time. So I'm a big fan of this stuff, this era of cartooning. So I thought that was really neat. I was actually really excited to see that. I think an issue like that, I think it's worth around $40 signed like that. Larry worked for Comedy Central, so he, I'm thinking that's why he had the Colbert issue. This one is kind of lowish grade, otherwise it would be worth quite a bit. Amazing Spider-Man 573. And one other random comic, Wonder Woman 600. Okay, back to the international. We have Batman #2. The Mylar, I can't say it, edition. Spider-Man #22. That is fun. Superman #1, the Singapore edition, but this one has like a special ad for buy 3, get a free Big Gulp ad. I thought that was really cool. And then one without the ad, different language. That's the Tamil edition. Amazing Spider-Man #1 again, Singapore edition. So that one I think I'm gonna have 1 or 2 duplicates, and it's worth a bit. I think $10 to $20. Okay, next handful. Another one of these Scooby-Doos. So I'm gonna have a duplicate of that. Batman #21, the really fun Jim Lee cover. That's cool. I like getting really classic covers like that in international editions, so that's really fun to me. Another one of these Superman #1, and let's see, this is the Malayalam edition. I thought this was really cool. Dexter's Lab #9. I think this early 2000s Cartoon Network stuff, I think this has ability to really explode in value in the next 5 years. So it's kind of fun to pick it up. Tarzan #1, another one of these Dark Horse reprints. Couple copies of that. Is that the same edition? Yeah, I think that's the same. No. Yeah, no, they're both Bengali editions. Spider-Man #1, the English version of it. That is really neat. I think that one actually has some value to it. Let's see, another JLA #1, Singapore edition. I think that's a duplicate. A really cool Silver Surfer #1. I thought this one was really neat. That's one of my favorite ones I got out of this collection. And Superman #4, the Singapore edition. Okay, one more handful of the international ones. We have Batman Detective Comics #1. This is the English market version from India. Doc Walloper, a promo comic, a preview comic. Hulk #1, a Singapore edition. These are really cool. It's fun to get a whole bunch of international books all at once. Oh, okay. So they went to San Diego Comic-Con a couple times. So there's a stack of these. The Grant Morrison sketchbook. I'm guessing it was kind of hard to figure out the value, but I was thinking these were worth about $10 a piece. I'm going to have a bunch of duplicates to sell if anyone's interested. So there's a whole stack of those. But yeah, let's actually just take a quick look at one. So yeah, it just talks a little bit about his work in here. Oh, it says it's limited to 1,000 copies, so they didn't print a ton of these, so it's kind of limited. There's some beautiful artwork in it. That's gorgeous. The one thing about the Virgin Comics is they did have a lot of really nice artwork in their issues. Kind of wish they had lasted longer. It would have been cool if they had gone on, because I just really like the focus on nice artwork. So yeah, we have those little sketchbooks from San Diego Comic-Con. Those are cool. Okay, and then he had stacks of some of the trade paperbacks. So again, these are all file copies. These are the ones he held back just to have on hand, whether it's for reference, to give away, or whatnot. So there are some duplications of things. So Romayan, the trade paperbacks, I think there's 4 of those. Something like these I usually sell in like the $5 to $7 range. I'm going to keep one for myself, of course. Oh, and then there's this whole stack of Voodoo Trials. So this is the Nicolas Cage and Weston Cage book. I think that's actually pretty cool. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 duplicates. Again, the duplicates I will be selling, because I don't need more than one for my own self. Okay, and then this is one more little stack of foreign books. These are, I think, a little bit more valuable ones. You got Spider-Man #3, the Bengali edition. Spider-Man #1, the Malayalam edition. 2 copies of that, so I will have 1 duplicate. And they have a little bit of wear, so they're not near mint. They're probably just like Fine Plus copies. Still very fun to have. All right, let's go through this box. This is the U.S. comics from Virgin Comics. Okay, first handful is going to be a lot of duplicates in this box. These are all file copies. We have Jenna Jameson Shadowhunter #1, the variant. It's a lovely cover. I think the artwork is pretty nice in these as well. Like, look how fun and colorful, and like it feels just done really, really well. I think that's neat. So yeah, this is 1, 2, 12, 13 copies. A couple of them are a little bit lower grade, but most of them are in pretty high grade. Okay, next handful. We have Doc Walloper #3, #2. This is going to be fun too, because it's really going to fill in my Virgin Comics collection. It'll be a big chunk of the first few of each run. Snake Woman #1. Special Collector's Edition that had 1 and 2 combined. The Devi trade paperback. I think the artwork of this one just looks gorgeous. Like, these just had really nice interior artwork. I like that. Devi issue 1. This is like the rarer sketch variant. I just want to go inside one of these. Oh, yeah, and there's the regular cover. So that's like a added sketch variant. If you look right here, let's see if we can get closer. All these books are marked. It says Chief Marketing Officer Larry Lieberman. So this is his collection. So he is in every single book, which is really neat. It's really fun to get a collection like this from someone that worked on them. Issue number 2, really cool variant cover. Issue number 2, I think this is the regular cover. These all have a bit of value, the Shadow Hunters, because they just have really lovely covers. You know, it's a Greg Horn cover connected to Jenna Jameson, so I think these are all like $5 to $20 in value. Really awesome Lisner variant. Love that, number 2. Trade paperback for Guy Ritchie's Gamekeeper. Shadow Hunter number 3, another awesome Greg Horn cover. Oh, and then there's just 4 of those. A little bit of a stack. Okay, next handful, we have Guy Ritchie's Gamekeeper, the hardcover. Sadu. Oh, this was a Gotham comic. This isn't the... Oh, is it? I was confused for a second, but this is the Indian version. It just, at this point, they're marked Virgin Comics. That's actually kind of cool. And then this is the first issue. Same Indian version. Snake Woman. Okay, so there's more actually international. I thought these were... I mean, I did go through all these when I priced them out. I forgot there was a little stack of these international versions. These are actually really cool. Okay, and then this is a preview for Jenna Jameson's Shadow Hunters. Greg Horn cover. Lovely cover. These are neat. I think these have a little bit of value, but there's a whole stack of them. 2, 5 of those. And then issue number 1, Greg Horn cover. I'm actually shocked that these didn't have more value than like $5 to $20. Kind of somewhere in that range. There's a whole stack of those as well. So I will have duplicates of these for sale. Got all those. And then Greg Land cover for issue number 1. Which is, that's a lovely cover as well. Okay, next stack. We have a lot more of the Greg Land issues. 4 or 5 of those. Another one of these Romayan graphic novels. Nicolas Cage's comic number 1. That's actually pretty neat. I love Nicolas Cage. Indian Authentic Hanuman. I really like these ones that are, or like mystical books based on Indian religions. I really, really like those. Devi issue 1. That's a beautiful cover. Buddha number 2. This one is signed by... actually, I think that one's signed by Deepak Chopra, if I remember correctly. Which is actually kind of neat. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 signed copies. So those have a little bit of value because it is signed. Not that, you know, people that are fans of Deepak Chopra want the comic signed by him. They probably more likely would want a book signed by him. But still very, very, very neat. Okay, we have another stack. So, Snake Woman 3, Indian version. Snake Woman 4, Indian version. The Saru, issue 4, Indian version. And, I guess they're working on this, turning this into a movie. I don't know if this ever did this become a movie with Nicolas Cage? Not 100% sure. Okay, and then Virgin Comics number 0, like a preview issue. So a little bit of stack of those, 2 or 5 of those. Gamekeeper issue number 1, the Guy Ritchie comic. Issue 1 from the 2nd series, a couple copies of that. These are fun. They had these like promotional lenticulars that they made. So he had a bunch of these. This is the Gamekeeper lenticular. There's a couple of those. Another one of these Nicolas Cage books, Voodoo Child number 1. Another one of these sketch variants for Devi 1. Beyond issue 1. Buddha issue 4. These, I think the Buddha, like all these have great art. This one, the line work is a little bit weaker to me, but the coloring is really beautiful. Buddha 3. Yama, the Lord of Death. I do like these Indian mystical comics. Apparently, in India, a lot of the earlier comics and stuff from like the 50s, 60s, 70s were more of these mythical storytelling. You know, they're gods and whatnot. And that kind of leads into Spider-Man India. So I'll tell you that story in a few minutes. Kartikeya, Vishnu, Uma. So these are all fun Indian mythical gods. Sarawati. Okay, another stack. Indra. Which, yeah, these are U.S. releases of the Indian books. I don't know if they sold that well in the U.S. market. I have a feeling, though, in the Indian market, these will probably gain value eventually. Ganesh, Hanuman. Okay, Hanuman. So a couple of those. Garuda. This is cool. So San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Dan Deere number 7. This was pretty rare. It was kind of hard to track down the value of this one. Limited to 250 comics. And we got a couple copies of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm crashing the market. 6 is what? 10, 4% of the print run. Okay, we got Ramayan again. Got a couple copies of that. Snake Woman issue 1. A couple of those. Issue 1. So we have both the Indian version and the US version of these, which is actually really neat to see both versions of these. Snake Woman issue 3. And John Woo's Seven Brothers. I think this is the first volume of the trade paperbacks. Next stack, we have another Gamekeeper trade paperback. A couple of those. Nicolas Cage's Voodoo Child, a couple of those. And John Woo's Seven Brothers. Back like maybe 20 years ago, I became obsessed with John Woo's action films from the late 80s, early 90s. You know, like Hard Boiled and whatnot. Really, really good action movies. So it's kind of fun to get comic books that he wrote or created. So we got, oh, these are sticking together. We got 3 of those. Not sticking together. I just can't grab it. Greg Horn cover for issue 1. Looks like they got a lot of Greg Horn covers done by him. Those are really cool, actually. Okay, and that last handful, we have John Woo's Seven Brothers Volume 2, the hardcover. This one's limited to 1,000 copies, so it's a low print run. Seven Brothers Volume 1, I believe. Another Indian version of Sadhu, number 5. Witchblade Devi. This is some kind of Expo limited edition cover. That's actually really neat. Love that. I've been collecting a lot more Witchblade lately. Another Devi trade paperback. Devi Witchblade number 1. So that's just the regular number 1. Another Voodoo Child number 1. And another Devi trade paperback. Okay, those are cool. All right, let's go through this box. It has the little stack I showed you during the sunset, and then a couple hardcover French books, and a little other stack of books right there. Okay, this is a stack that we looked at the sunset, but we'll look a little closer. We have this really cool, it was signed by Jenna Jameson to Calvin. I guess Calvin didn't grab his issue. That is really neat, though. I liked all the signed issues that he had in the lot. We have John Woo's Seven Brothers. This one's signed by John Woo. That, like, to me, that's the coolest thing here. I thought that was really, really, really neat. This one is signed by Garth Ennis with the certificate of authenticity. So this is the Spider-Man India preview. So this predates the first appearance. So I don't know, like, I couldn't really see any selling for much, but I think this should be worth a lot more than it is. So basically what happened was when they first released Spider-Man books in India, like, you know, people in India get bit by spiders all the time, apparently, and it wasn't anything special. So it just, like, it didn't make sense in the Indian market. It didn't sell well. So what they did was, this guy, I forget his name. It should say on the back of here. No, it doesn't say on that one. I'll find the one later. Here, this is the, I'll let you pause it on here if you want to read all about Spider-Man India, but this is a whole, like, press release about it. So basically, they created him with more of a mystical background. So, like, mystical forces gave him his power, so it made more sense in the Indian market. I thought that was really, really neat. So this is the trade paperback, limited collector's edition. This one's signed by the artist that created Spider-Man India. I think this might have been for the Indian market, because I do see, well, it says Gotham Comics, but it has a U.S. price tag, so maybe it was for the U.S. market. Oh, and I think inside there's a poster of some sort. Yeah, so inside they have a really cool Green Goblin India, I guess, poster. That is really neat. So yeah, I'm really excited to add these to my collection because, you know, Into the Spider-Verse movies, absolutely love them. So having the key issues connected to the characters that show up in the movie is kind of fun to me. So yeah, that's neat. And it's even different. Like this preview, he has this little like symbol on his forehead. Oh, and that spider symbol is different than there. Okay, it looks like they changed them up a bit. That is really neat. Okay, more of these Dan Dare San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. This is a reprint of, I believe, Spider-Man 36, the 9/11 tribute issue. That's quite, it's like $100 book. So this is a reprint. Let's see if I can find, Spider-Man's at Ground Zero, helping them find survivors. Like, this was just a really emotional issue when it came out. It's really fun to see it. It's the SMSA edition. I saw one lot of 2 different versions of this sell for $400. So, but those might have been in slightly better condition. I'm guessing high end, this is worth $200. Low end, probably at least $100. So that, to me, that's just a really cool key issue to get in another language. And these are super cool. So this is Voodoo Child #1. This is signed by Weston Cage and Nicolas Cage. I'm a huge fan of Nicolas Cage, so it's really fun to get his autograph. Okay, and then there were several sets of these Spider-Man India. I just grabbed one to show you guys. I think the other boxes have the rest. So you have issue 1, the first U.S. appearance of him. Issue 2. Issue 3. Issue 4. Spider-Man 1, the Bengali edition. These, again, I think these have a little bit of value, 10 to 20 bucks. The Malayalam, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh, and then one more book in here was, oh, no, nothing in there. Oh, that was just in that I had the 2 little preview comics, which these were, I think, free in packs of Parley G crackers or cookies or whatever that is. That's really cool. They get the little promo comics like this. These are probably hard to get in India by itself, because most people probably just like toss them. So like them in the US market, it's probably near impossible. Although I have a whole stack now. Okay. All right, next stack. Okay, so yeah, this is more of the Spider-Man India trade paperback signed by the artist. So I think there's 3 of these. The value of these have come down since the movie. I think I'm going to just hold on to them because I think there's a chance for it to pop back up. So like right now I might be able to get 20 to 40. I feel like there's a chance it would pop back up. Wicked Weapon. It's signed by Jenna Jameson. This is just a comic from a different publisher. That's super cool though to have one signed by her. Oh, and then a whole bunch of these Greg Horn lenticulars. I think these are really neat. So this, it's just a little promo thing. They probably were selling them or giving them away at San Diego Comic-Con back then. So there's a whole stack. All right, I won't show you every single one, but there's like maybe 10 of those. And then, let's see. I don't know the issue number that was, but that's the lenticular for that issue. Really, really neat little stack of those. Okay, and then more of these Nicolas Cage Voodoo Child. I'm guessing these are worth probably about $40 to $60. And there is a stack of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will be selling the duplicates if anyone wants one. Garth Ennis signed Dan Dare #1s. These are really, really cool. I think it's cool that he signed them. So we got 1, 2. These I'm guessing are more in like the $20 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. This one is super cool. It's the lenticular, but this one is signed by Brian Talbot, which I think makes it worth, maybe by itself it might be like $5, but with the signature it's probably 20 or 30. Thought that was really neat. Another one of these Spider-Man Indias. I'm going to hold on to those for now. Another Garth Ennis signed Dan Dare #1, limited edition, 500 copies. That is really neat. Okay, another stack of books. We got more of these Voodoo Child double signed. That's one of the coolest things I think in the collection is just a whole stack of these signed books. Some of these Dan Dare lenticulars, but unsigned, or just a mix. Jenna Jameson, a couple more of those. Free Comic Book Day Dan Dare. More of the lenticulars for Dan Dare. So this is just a whole stack. Are any of these signed? Oh yeah. So the ones unsigned are maybe $5, but the ones that are signed are 20, 25. And there's a whole stack of them signed. So that's really neat. More of the signed John Woo book. This, to me, that's freaking cool too. 1, 2 of those. And then the Seven Brothers number issue 1. This is the Greg Horde variant. That's also signed by John Woo. So the duplicates of these I will sell. I'm guessing they're in the $20 to $40 range. I'm not 100% sure yet. Like, I couldn't find this issue signed. I was just trying to see other things that he had signed, and it kind of fell into that range. Oh, and then a bunch more of these sketchbooks. 1, 2, 3 of those. Oh, and another Garth Ennis signed Dan Dare, and another signed John Woo. The sign stack is really, really neat. Oh, and this was cool. Grunge Comics presents the Kurt Cobain story. This is actually probably a $50 comic. Maybe 30 to 40 because it's like a very fine minus. So that was just a random comic he had in there. Not one he worked on, I don't think, but a comic of value. So I thought that was really cool. Okay, and then this is, I believe, French versions. Because they have, on the back, they have like a €12.90 price. And I think that's French. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's cool. I like getting comics from all around the world, and these are in the fun French size, which is my favorite. The hardcovers are in this size. Like in France, they really make their comics nice, and I love them. John Woo, Seven Brothers. The Ramayan and Dan Dare Collector's Edition. 2 copies of them. Which, this one looks like it's English, so this one... Yeah, this might just be the US release, not the international release. Still neat though, because it's in the French size, and I absolutely love the French size book. Oh, and the cool thing about this too is that it does have a European price, so maybe they did distribute it to France as well, or other, maybe the UK. Not 100% sure. Those are cool though. Love them. And this is a really awesome John Woo Seven Brothers poster that was promoting the comic that they had up at San Diego Comic-Con, I guess in 2008. This thing is really cool. All right, let's go through this box. I think this is going to be more of the American releases. Okay, all right. First handful, we have some trade paperbacks. So we have some of these Indian Authentic. So we have a couple of the Shiva ones and the Sadhu one. Guy Ritchie's Gamekeeper trade paperback. Not sure who this one's on. It just says Indian Authentic Volume 2. Dave Stewart's Walkin'. And another Gamekeeper. All right, next stack, we have some comics. Voodoo Child issue 6. Nicolas Cage's book. Some more of the Spider-Man in India. I think there was 3 complete sets and then 1 incomplete. Like, 1 set was missing issue 3. So that's 4, 2, and 1. I'm going to hold on to those for now because I think the price came way down after the... it's been a while since the movie. But when the next version comes out, if he's in the next version, the interest might spike again. I think they're neat, though. I like to hold on to them. Dan Dare issue 7, San Diego Comic-Con. Buddha issue 1. Buddha issue 3. The Tall Tales of Vishnu issue 1. The Masked Magician. So this is U.S. market, but wasn't this guy like a Brazilian or Mexican actor show? I think that's kind of neat, actually. This is just an edit copy. Nothing special. They just wrote edit copy on it. So it's one that they used to work on. I don't know if it's any different than the regular version. I think it's just a regular version that they wrote edit copy on it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of that. Okay, next handful. We got Buddha issue 1. A couple copies of that. So 3 of those. Zombie Broadway. I guess it's just how they printed it. It wasn't like a collected version. I think it's just a thicker regular issue. Dan Dare issue 2. So apparently Dan Dare was Richard Branson's favorite comic as a kid. And so that's why he had Virgin Comics do some Dan Dare books. Walk-In issue 6. Walk-In issue 3. Walk-In issue 1. A couple copies of that. Doc Walloper. Trade paperback. A couple of those. Voodoo Child. Trade paperback. And Buddha issue 2. A couple of those. Okay. Next handful, we have Sadhu issue 3. So I think these are just all US versions. Doc Walloper issue 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Dan Dare issue 7, the variant, special double finale issue. Dan Dare issue 5. Issue 5, so one of those is the variant. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. I'm guessing that's the regular cover since there's more. Dan Dare issue 3. Number 3, one of these is the variant. 2 of those. Stranded Free Comic Book Day, which also flips over to the Dan Dare Free Comic Book Day. So it's like a handful of those. And then Stranded issue 5. Stranded issue 4. A couple of those. Okay, next handful. All right, next handful. We got Stranded issue 3. Stranded issue 2. Stranded issue 1 with a nice gray corn cover. Stranded trade paperback. Ramayan Reloaded trade paperback. Voodoo Child issue 6. 1, 2, 3 of those. Issue 1. 1 of those. Issue 1. So one's a variant, one's the regular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Okay, next handful we have Linger, the trade paperback. Studio 18, so I guess that's like a collab with 2 different companies. The Leaves, fun New York City cover. 1, 2 of those. Mumbai MacGuffin, love the name of that one. Jimmy Zingchak, that one sounds funny. A couple of those. That one I think had a little bit of value to it. Snake Woman trade paperback. Okay, next handful. We have another San Diego Comic-Con Dan Dare. Gamekeeper. Limited edition to 500 pieces. Got 1, 2 of those. Project Kalki number 1. Dan Dare issue 2. 1, 2 of those. The Econauts. So we got a couple of those. 1, 2, 3. Virulence trade paperback. Ramayan issue 1. The Stranded, the hardcover. This is the limited edition to 1,000 pieces. Oh, another Grant Morrison sketchbook. Bunch of those in here. Okay, and then one more handful of books. We have another Shiva trade paperback. Ramayan Reloaded issue 3. Ramayan regular issue 3. I think these are 2 different series. Another one of these. Ramayan issue 2. John Woo 7 Brothers trade paperback. Spider-Man India trade paperback. So this is just the regular US version. I guess I think this is just Marvel branded. So there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, 7 of those. I might end up selling some of those and not keep that set. And then Walk-In number 1. This one has little tags. So this is one that they were working on, like a edit copy, which I don't know if there's any notes inside. But it is fun to see little edit copies like this if it's something that people are working on. I think that's neat. Okay, let's go through this box. This box has more of the hardcovers, some Virgin stationery, and some press kits. So this is actually going to be a really interesting box to dig through. First, we have this little handful of the promotional comics. So it's more of these that are free with cookies or crackers. And then this Justice League Adventures, which says it's, I guess, free with purchase of ramen? No, I'm just not sure, but that is neat. I love little promotional stuff like this. I think they're really neat. Then we have a stack of hardcovers. I think this is more the French books. Voodoo Child. This is the US/European version. So 3 of those, a couple sealed. Okay, this stack here. Guy Ritchie's Gamekeeper. Snake Woman. So these are, again, the French ones, I believe. John Woo 7 Brothers. And Ramayan. I do really like the size of French books that are hardcover like this. This is just like, I grew up loving Tintin, so I've always loved this size of comic. Okay, a couple books. We have Ari Kaplan, From Krakow to Crypto, Jews and Comic Books. Forward by Harvey P. Carr and J.T. Waldman. That sounded like an interesting book on comics, and I love books like that. And then Deepak Chopra's Kama Sutra. I'm not sure if I can show all the artwork inside, but it has a bunch of beautifully illustrated pages done by, I think, the artists that are working at Virgin Comics. So, like, you can see that's really nice. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can show these. They're not graphical as much as it could be. Yeah, so I don't want to show too many pages. Just really beautiful illustrated book. Mixed within this box too is a bunch of promotional stuff, such as these postcards for different comics. What I will do with these postcards is for my own PC, any comic that they go to, I'm just going to put it in with the comic, just make it like a collectible. And then the duplicates, I'll probably end up sticking in a few that I end up selling, make like little lots of them. And then a whole stack of iPod classic skins for Dan Dare. Like, I don't think there's any value or very little value. Oh, and the Jenna Jameson's one. I don't think there's much value in use, but kind of as a collectible, they're kind of neat. I like that. Just something that probably wasn't kept, so there's not a lot of them out there. This piece of software, this was a thing that Virgin Comics put out that allowed you to use their characters and make your own little comic books. Like, you would be able to do the word bubbles and, like, put them in different, like, poses and stuff. It sounded like a neat thing to play with. Okay, and then this is kind of neat. This was just a whole package of stationery. So this is just a whole pack of Virgin Comics stationery. I'm going to, like, if I sell the comics on eBay or something, I'm going to put this in with each one just as a cool little extra bonus thing. Then there was this folder full of printouts. So this is all working stuff. So probably just test prints of covers and stuff. I'm just going to keep this as a folder. Because it's just printouts, I don't think there's a ton of value in it as a collectible, but as a historical artifact of Virgin Comics, especially, I don't know if any of this art is clean like this without the trade dress. So it actually might be an interesting version. I don't know if the files have got this, exist somewhere out in the world. But yeah, this whole folder, I'm just keeping this in my collection because I love, oh, that one's on a little bit nicer piece of paper. Jenna Jameson. I love production stuff like this. It's just fun to think about the history of comics and how they were made and marketed and all that. So this is just a whole folder of, I guess these are test art printings. I don't know if they're all released art or not, but just art, maybe color tests, maybe not finished art. Looks a little bit rough. Maybe it is finished art. Looks really cool. I'm sure some of you know which comics these all go to. This might be Jenna Jameson's book. Not 100% sure on this. Looks cool though. Like, this looks really neat. Very cool. Very cool. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Like, I don't know if these were used. These were just tests. I don't know anything about these, honestly. I should have asked Larry more about these. Next time I see him, I'm going to ask about this folder, and then I can add a little comment or something with information. Yeah, but this is just a whole stack of printouts of different art. Which is, it's super neat. If this was not published, or if it's published not in this version or small or whatnot, it's just really neat to have it just as a little archive, a little folder full of really cool stuff. Okay. And all right, some of this is duplicating. I want to go through the whole thing because it's just fun to document it, just to see what it's all like. Interesting, beautiful stuff. It's all feels like mid-2000s digital art. Beautiful. A new superhero universe begins summer 2009 from Stanley and Virgin Comics. Did that come out? That I actually don't know if that ever came out. I don't remember that, actually. Oh, so there's a handful of those. So maybe this is all related to that. Maybe this is a project that just never got finished. I'm not sure. I just think it's really neat. And then we had a stack of press kits. I always thought press kits were kind of neat. So basically it's Virgin Comics on the outside, and then inside it's several pages of just promotional stuff of all the different, here, we'll look at them. So it's like a press page for Voodoo Child, for Snake Woman, so for Virulence, for Walk-In, for Devi, and John Woo's Seven Brothers. Oh, that might be all on that side. Okay. And then one preview comic for Gamekeeper. And then, Guy Ritchie's comic. Ramayan. Panchateria. This one, I don't know if that one came out. I don't see that. The Equinauts. Master Blaster. So some of these ones, I don't know if those are ones that hadn't come out yet. But I thought that was really cool. And then, okay, and then this one is just one for Voodoo Child. It's like a whole press release thing. This was like a test printout for a comic called the Lennon-McCartney Songbook. I don't know if this one came out. This was just like a proposal. And then this was a bound copy. This is actually really neat too. So like an unreleased comic, I guess. Definitely keeping those. And these are just folder. Oh wait, no. That one's a folder. Nothing in that folder. And this one is just another, the same press kit. And another the same press kit. Okay, so that was really neat. The other thing that's really cool is that he had a stack of these DVDs. This is a video covering the Stan Lee panel from Virgin Comics. So like that is really cool. This is on the Kama Sutra book. This was the Dan Dara panel. This is Deepak Chopra, Grant Morrison Master. This one's on Laura Martin, Virgin Reel, Stan Lee again. So I don't know if they're different Stan Lee or the same. So anyway, I asked Larry, he said I could post these onto YouTube. So if you guys want to see these different panels and stuff, maybe there'll be one day I'll just post like 6 of them in a day. I thought those were really neat.
Hey, it's Jason again from Atlanta. This will be a quick one. I just took a quick trip to Infinite Realities. I do appear to be going there every week now just to see what they put back in their 25-cent and dollar bins. And I got, it's so hard to say no to 25 cents. So although I've now read the first volume of Astro City, so if I see other Astro Cities for 25 cents, you can be sure they're coming home with me. Same with Badger. I just read the Badgers I have the first year or so, and it was good. So I'll keep getting some more of those. I'd already gotten from Infinite Realities, I'd already gotten Brave Old World number 1 and 2, and even though I haven't read them, when you see number 4 for 25 cents, you know. I like P. Craig Russell. I'm not sure about his adaptations of opera. It feels a little, I don't know, weird to me. But I love his art. So I got this one. This is in the Night Music series, number 4. Although it doesn't actually say that anywhere on here, which was kind of confusing when I was trying to catalog it. And then from the dollar bins, I found this one. Always excited to see a Virgin variant of something. This one is called Helm Greycastle, and it looks pretty neat. It's a number 1. I'll check it out and see if it's any good. It's got like a whole D&D module thing in the back. Then Piranha Press, I'm sort of hit or miss with, but I saw this one, The Hiding Place. It's a big fatty, and it looks cute. The little cover picture here is like a kid on a dragon over New York City, and that sounds nice. I would like that. And the artwork looks actually pretty fun. And that's it. That's all I got this time. See y'all later. Bye-bye.